Hello everyone, it's Frankie, back with another episode of Zooming on Your TV. Today we're going to be talking about Facebook's Portal TV. Now Facebook makes several Portal products. They're usually all in one with a screen. They allow you to video chat or video conference with people all around the world. But this particular product is called the Portal TV because it's specifically designed for your TV set to set on top. It's got a built-in camera that you can use to video chat with one another. And some of the other features that it has the technology that's built in that will allow you to focus in on a single person if that's the only person in the room. But if somebody else walks into the room, it's able to readjust the screen so that it can fit everyone into the screen. So it's got some nice technology built into it. Now, the Facebook Portal TV has an interface built into it that allows you to access Prime TV or Netflix or even programs like Zoom. It comes with a remote that lets you control all of that. So you don't need some other device to control it. You don't need a computer. You just need a TV and a Facebook Portal TV. Now, you can pick these up right now for about $79. Now, that's pretty cheap considering you're getting a really high definition video camera, as well as an interface that's going to allow you to do anything that you might want to do in Zoom. So let's get started. What we're going to do is take a few minutes to get this set up on the TV. We're going to plug in the power. We're going to plug in an HDMI cable to the TV. We'll come back and show you what the interface looks like, and we'll go from there. Hey everyone, we're back. As you can see, we have our Portal TV sitting on top of our TV now. We've connected power, we've connected an HDMI cable to an HDMI port, and we see the Roku TV interface up. So we're going to take the Roku TV remote, choose the proper HDMI channel, which is HDMI 2 that we hooked our Portal TV up to. And this is the screensaver for the Portal TV. On the little remote, you can hit the home button. Takes you back to the home screen. Now, just highlight a few things here. These are the apps that you see installed on the Portal TV. You notice you have apps such as Netflix and Prime TV, and if you have Sling TV, you can do Sling TV from here, as well as the app we're concerned about is Zoom. Now, something to mention while we're here is that you can come over to this icon with the A. This is Portal Apps. And you can go into Portal Apps and you can install other apps that are available. Now, there's not a big selection right now, to be honest, but there are some popular things, and they keep adding things as we go along. But what we're concerned about today is zooming on our TV, and so we're concerned about Zoom. So I'm going to get you over to the Zoom application. Now, you notice what's nice about this is you can do most everything from the remote control. So we'll go into Zoom, and if you've logged in and set up an account in Zoom, this is the interface it'll come to. You know, you first have to log in, create your account, or log in with your account. I've already done that, and so we're logged into a Zoom account right now. And so the functionality that you have is pretty much everything you have on a typical Zoom for the most part. There are some limitations, and we'll go over some of those things as we go along. But so here you can start a new meeting if you want to be a host and conduct a meeting, or you can join a meeting. And those are the two main things that we'll be talking about and be using today. So specifically, I'm going to first show you what it's like if you were hosting a meeting in Zoom, and we'll show you some functionality that you have and some things you may not have. And then after that, we'll go into what it looks like if you were to join somebody else's meeting and some of the functionality that you have there as well. And so what we're going to do is take a minute to get logged in, and we'll come back after we've got logged in and show you what that interface looks like. All right, so now we're logged into Zoom. We've created a meeting or started a meeting, and we've invited somebody. I've got the cameras and mics turned off just so we don't get feedback in our video here today. But I want to show you some of the functionality with the remote. So along the bottom, you can mute yourself, you can turn your video on and off. Now, the reason it skips the video here is because I have the shutter turned off. I have the shutter on the Portal TV closed, and so there is no opportunity to turn a camera on. Typically, if that was opened up, you'd be able to do that, but I don't want to shoot behind my camera and stuff today, so we've got that turned off. So again, you can control your muting and your muting of your video. Here you can go into the share interface, and it shows you your meeting ID that you can give to somebody so they can connect to your meeting. This is where you would do that from. At the bottom down here, you also can change your view from just a speaker view or gallery like what we have here. Also, you've got the more options that's going to allow you to change your security settings, add a virtual background. You can go in and look at your participants and see who's in the room with you. Also under more, you have some functionality to chat with somebody that's in the room, and then you can go in and change your settings. Now, if we go down here to the bottom bar here, this is pretty much all the functionality that you have in Portal TV, the Zoom app that's on Portal TV. So as you can see, it's not fully functional like an actual Zoom software program that's on a computer, but you can pretty much control everything. If the person was to raise their hand, you would see their hand raised, so you could see that and you could call on them. So you could manage, or you could run a meeting yourself. It's just you are limited to, it's difficult to share screens because you can only share what you've got on your Portal TV. So it's hard to do that. So if you needed to do any type of sharing or anything like that, you wouldn't want to use Portal TV to manage your meeting or to conduct your meeting. But for the most part, you can conduct like a Bible study or other types of things that you wanted to do, a meeting for school. If you're a teacher, you could do a school meeting or whatever, just as long as you didn't have to display or share anything from your screen. Other than that, you can do pretty much what you need to. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to log out. I'm going to join a different meeting, somebody else's meeting with Portal TV, so you can see what that interface looks like. Okay, so we're back. I've now joined somebody else's meeting, and as you can see, we're connected to that meeting, and the functionality that we have is pretty much the same with a few exceptions. So we can control our mute and unmute of our microphone, mute and unmute of our camera. We can change the view to the portrait or to speaker view. And then if you go into more, you now have the option to raise your hand. When your hand is raised, it tells you that you can now lower your hand. So basically it lets you know that you've got your hand raised. Now you can't see an indication anywhere on your screen that your hand is raised. If we were to go, we'll leave your hand up. If we were to go to the more section and pull up participants, you'll notice here that it shows your hand is raised in there. So you can see your hand is raised in here, but you can't see your hand raised on your tile. So that's one kind of minor gripe, but of course, if you're working on making a comment, you'll probably have this up on your screen while you're giving your comment. And so then when you're done, you just hit that again and that'll lower your hand. Now, keep something in mind. The other person that's running the meeting, they do see your hand up on their screen. So they see that just like normal. So they're able to see your hands when it's up and when it's not up. And so their side, it doesn't affect them at all. But on your side, you just kind of got to get used to a little different viewing of that. That's really, from what I can see, the only real limitation that you have as a participant is just being able to see your hand up on your tile. But you can see it's up because it'll say lower hand, and you can also go into the participants, and you can see that it's there as well. So really, that's about it, friends. This will really shows you how the Portal TV actually functions and works when you've joined a meeting or when you create your own meeting. The really nice thing about it is you don't need any other hardware or anything. You just need the Portal TV, this little remote, and you can have Zoom on your TV. And if the most part, if you're just joining a meeting, maybe commenting, this works just perfect for that type of scenario. If you're trying to run your own meeting, it still works fine. You just have some limitations with being able to show media. And so if you need to show media, you probably wouldn't want to use this for that. But it's cheap enough that you could have this to go along with a computer or some other setup. So it's something to really consider. And this works really good for people that aren't tech savvy or whatever, and they just have a participant's role in meetings. This would work just fine for them. They'd be able to manage just fine, and then take advantage of their larger TV. Sometimes most people have even larger than this, a 60-inch, 65, 70-inch, so they'd have a much bigger screen and be able to see more people on their screen as well. So it's a really good option for Zooming on your TV, and we just wanted to make you aware of this option. So thanks again for taking your time to watching this episode of Zooming on your TV. I'm Frankie.